What's going on, Niner fam? It is Peter Lucas, and I got with me Twin today, and this is the Niner Fanatic Podcast. Hey guys, once again it's Peter Lucas. I got with me today Twin from the Beard. You gonna have to say it.
The Bearded Bros podcast, baby.
Yeah, I got Twin with me, and I'm so excited. I love having him on because he has all the energy on the planet, and it gets me going. But Twin, why don't you tell them where they can find you on the socials and where they can find your podcast?
Man, what's up? What it do, man? It's your boy Twin coming in live and direct, feeling good, feeling fine on this wonderful Victory Monday, man. So, that alone got me juiced up, man, because now I just went through, took care of business. So I'm excited. You can find your boy Twin Empire at YouTube. It's just Twin Empire together, compound word, you know what I'm saying? You make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, and also you check me out on YouTube. If you look up down below, Twin Empire ×2 is my Twitter handle, and make sure you follow me there. I'm even representing the Twin shirt today. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you got merch.
I got a little merch, But yeah, man, just make sure you follow, and I make sure, I love engaging on Twitter and, having a funky good time, especially when we're talking about, the 49ers. So, yeah.
Yeah, for real. And we got the win. So we're happy about that. We got the win, right?
Yes, sir.
And we're actually in the winning column now. We are 5-4 and beat the Chargers yesterday 22-16. What do you see as being the main reason why they won that game? Because it was looking bleak in the beginning.
Hey, it was looking bleak. The defense wasn't necessarily showing up. In my opinion, them first couple of drives, especially that first series, man, they methodically just went on down there and scored real quickly. So I was like, man, maybe it's because of a little rust. We both knew that the the LA Chargers didn't necessarily have their full gamut of weapons, whether it was Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Guyton out there as well. So sometimes you can underestimate your opponent just a little bit, And so I think after they settled in, it was good to go. But I don't know. I think I told you, last time we had to talk about what happened with the Rams games and what we did. Our team went out there and showed out. But with the Chargers yesterday, I was like, man, I just want to see what's the mentality of our team. And I wasn't I love the defense. The offense, I'm still kind of scratching my head on. How you feel about that?
It's the same thing that I've had you on a few times, and it's the same thing that we've been talking every single time that you've been on my show. It's the offense. We're not really clear as to why everything is so difficult. We have all these playmakers on this squad, and it's just so difficult to score points. And complete with, we're supposed to have a genius coach on the offensive side, and we just can't put it together to get in the end zone. And I would say this: they moved the ball fine. They had their little dry spell in the second quarter, where they really couldn't move the ball. But the second half came, they were moving the ball. But the issue was they could not get in the end zone. And I still don't. I don't necessarily. I think I understand it at this point. It still doesn't make sense why it's that way, though. In my opinion, and we'll get into it a little later, but it's just, I'm happy about the win. We needed the win. Yeah. And I'm getting to the point to where I'm just comfortable with them getting the win. Yeah. I've come to grips with the fact that this team is not going to blow guys out, not going to blow teams out. But as long as we get the win, that's really all that matters. But the defense, I agree with you. Like in the beginning, it looked like it was going to be a long day. It looked like it was going to be a real long day, and then all of a sudden, they kind of just put the clamps on, especially in the second half. Like
Yeah.
they just put the clamps on them, and that was a wrap. Like they kind of figured, and it was really encouraging to see because they've always had problems with mobile quarterbacks,
Mm-hmm.
but and I saw Melissa's question earlier about she wanted to hear our take about the ejection. We're gonna get to it, I promise you. Because I thought that was something else,
Yeah.
but yeah, like I really just think that it was a typical Niner win. Like we don't know how we won, we just won. And
Slow, methodical.
yeah,
Yeah.
like for real, like like I mean, methodical is like perfect word for it because it takes us like 20 plays to get a score, and everybody else somehow, even the bad teams, can get big plays from time to time. We just kind of struggle. But the what do you think? What so let's move on. Let's move into the offense a little bit. Why is every drive so hard to score? And I'm really interested in hearing your take on it because I know I almost already know what you're going to say about the tempo and like that kind of stuff. But is it the red zone offense or is it the offense altogether?
I think it's can it be a combination of both? I really believe that our offense, for some reason, when we get down to the red zone, I think Kyle's lack of. So I was watching earlier today. I was watching the game, rewatching and whatnot. When we got down there in the red zone, this is the time we went down. Elijah Mitchell was running the ball. We got to the 30, ran the ball twice, got down to the 9-yard line, and then on first down and 9, we had the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And the first down we did a shotgun. We came out in shotgun. I was like, okay, we passing on first down. It was an incomplete pass to Debo Samuel. I don't know if you remember that or not, right?
Yeah, no, I remember.
So first thing I said was this. I don't mind the pass, but I hate the formation. I hate that you giving the defense what you're going to do already. Like you
Yeah.
coming out in the shotgun formation, the 9-yard line. I'm like, no, we just ran the ball 3 times in a row. Keep running. And my favorite tweet over the last 3 weeks is Kittle down in the middle off of play action in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking we just had consecutive runs where we had positive yardage, and we finna hit them in first down. Let's get a fake little run. Let's see, can we get George Kittle just a touch in the end zone? And it seems like Kyle I don't know what it is about him. He just don't necessarily trust getting a confidence about giving the ball to Kittle in the end zone. I think a lot of this thing does with our belief. And then Kyle having the ability to say, I trust y'all to go out there and get touchdowns and not kick field goals because he has a conservative mentality. So I don't think it necessarily affects him the way they may affect us, even though we see all the wonderful tools he have on the, right there before him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, you have to expand your mentality in the red zone. Because I think last year was like 67% in the red zone. We was one of the top rated teams in the red zone last year. But this year, it just doesn't seem like he's calling plays with confidence. And it doesn't seem like they have a go-to like sets and things of that nature to go forth and score touchdowns. So that was my biggest gripe with the San Francisco 49ers offense this Sunday and pretty much the majority of this year is like, it seems like we struggle and it's like, maybe I'm cool with kicking the field goal or we getting the touchdown. I don't want to kick a field goal. Just like the thought alone changes the way that you call plays. And I think for me, hey, I'm not the coach, but just from an observer, it looks like he thinks, if anything, we got 3. Let's try to get a touchdown. And I think that what messes us up.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Like I think that it's weird because Kyle plays to just win. And he doesn't really he doesn't call plays to get points. He's calling plays to necessarily to just to get through the game and to come through with a victory. So he's everybody calls it conservative. I don't really call it conservative because he calls a lot of plays that just, I mean, they go against it's a lot of going against the norm just to do it, if that
Mhm.
makes any sense. And like I saw a lot of trips formations
Yeah.
yesterday, which, and then them trying to run screens out of that, like out of that, and trying to run the ball that way, and like it just, to me, it doesn't open up the field. It didn't open up the field. It was basically, like, to your point, telling them where you're going to go with the ball, because almost every single time they didn't try to go the other direction. They either went up the middle, or they tried to run the ball to that side, or they tried to screen to that side.
Yeah. Toss the
There's
pitch.
no jet sweeps, no nothing. Like
Mhm.
they were just telling them which direction they were going to go every time, and I just thought that it was just really like a convoluted game plan, and I just I'm tired of talking about Kyle as in, like, we in the aspect of he's supposed to be a genius. I'm no longer calling him a genius at this point. I don't even want to hear the name genius when we talking
Yeah.
about Kyle. He just Kyle now.
Look,
And like
shook heads.
yeah, yeah, you just Kyle now. You're gonna have to earn that label back to me at this point. It's just it's too there's too much talent on this team. There's too much talent on this team for there to be an issue of getting the, even with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, he's not playing bad. That's the problem. It would be
So
easy to
now,
say, if playing bad, it would be easy to say, oh, okay, well, it's just because we got Jimmy at quarterback. But that's not what's happening. He's pretty much playing, doing Kyle's game plan to a T, and we're
yeah,
still not scoring.
yeah, and like you said, if Jimmy is doing things that are, just that's terrible, I get it. I mean, he's still happy feet Jimmy. Okay, cool. But we're not expecting him to be a top 5, top 10 quarterback. We understand that. But when you do have top 5 talent on the outside, whether it's BA, Debo Samuels, you got Kittle in the middle, you got Juszczyk, you got TC. I mean, come on, man. You
Yeah.
have a plethora of toys to go around here and play with, but you still play with a hesitancy. And I hate looking at it because, like, dog, why are we struggling so bad? And if you look at the defense, man, somebody had a stat the other day and they were sitting there looking like, dog, I think our defense is like top 5 in maybe 8 categories. It's ridiculous. Like, even though we had 2 real stinkers,
Yeah.
overall our defense is still a really, really good defense. And I think Matt Miyoko said today that we have like the 18th rank scoring team, even though we average like they were like number 9 or 10 in yards per game.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like a team that can move the ball but can't score in the end zone. And to me, it's like, dude, you got too many weapons to still be this stagnant on offense. And I wish he
Yeah.
would just open it up a little bit. My idea for Kyle is to stop trying to be always the orchestrator of the touchdowns. How about you just sit here and say, hey, I got 3 guys on this side and 1 guy over here, and I'm just going to say, playmaker, make a play.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can overthink things, especially if you're really, really smart and you're supposed to be a genius, like
Yeah.
like
I'm
you say
saying,
you are.
like,
And just relax, Kyle. If you got Kittle over there, let Kittle cook. Or you got BA over there, just trust BA to go over there and make a play. And don't try to always micromanage the game. Because that's the part of having beautiful players, beautiful, like a beautiful system to say, hey man, I can put these plays in these guys in there and they're gonna make it happen. And I watch basketball a lot. And so I'm an avid hooper as well. So there's sometimes you run the play that the coach called, the set that the coach called, and then there's sometimes you just look at the coach and say, hey, ISO. I see a
yeah.
mismatch. Hey, y'all go here to the weak side. I'm gonna have the strong side over here to my dominant side, and I'm gonna cook. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let me be great. And I think Kyle got to realize that he got some players on there. Go over there, let him be great, man, and take the pressure off you, so you don't think that you have to call the perfect game to get the perfect result.
Yeah, for sure. And I gotta say what's up. That's my mom. So,
Hey, Miss Judy.
thank you for coming in, Mom. I appreciate you. Like, but she's not even a Niner fan. Like, like,
You're a fan
but
of
she
Kid
rules.
though. Let's
Yeah,
get
yeah, exactly. but yeah, it's like you said, we could talk all day about Kyle and his trust issues and like all the other stuff. But I want to talk about something positive. And the for me, the positives in this game was Elijah Mitchell. Because he made his return.
Yes.
What did you think of his performance? And what did you think about his usage in
Eli,
particular?
baby. Man, look, I was so happy to see the young fella out there, man. I know it's a hard thing dealing with injuries, especially coming off the year he came off with last year. I know he was looking forward to, having a breakout second year as well. Even though he was injured throughout training camp this year, it was just good to see number 25 out there because even though we do have CMC and we're appreciative of the thing that he brings to the table, especially with last week he had that what do you call it, the triple header or whatever. He had the pass and the receiving
Yeah.
and the rushing touchdown, and we're appreciative of that. But it's good to see a guy who was a late round draft pick go out there and play at the highest level and be productive. I thought he ran the ball hard. I was looking at his next gen stats, and I think he had like maybe 10 rushes of 5+ yards. And
Mm-hmm.
so whenever you got 10 rushes of 5+ yards, that means first thing first, you getting holes. The
Mm-hmm.
offensive line was out there making holes. He was decisive. He hit the hole and he ran hard. And a lot of times whenever he got tackled, he fell forward. And so it was
Mm-hmm.
just good seeing him go out there and get, I think it was like 18 touches. I thought that was good. I did think that CMC was starting to take a little punishment. Not saying that he cannot take it, but if we do have another back to go out there and spell him, let him go out there. And if he's going out there giving you 4.9 yards per carry, guess what? It's all right. CMC. We don't want you here for a short time. We want you here for a long time. So look,
Yep.
we're gonna use you guys too in unison. You know what I mean? And whenever he's cooking, we're gonna let him cook. And when you cooking, we let you cook. And so I thought it was good just to see him out there. I was glad that Kyle wasn't so headstrong to just run CMC in the ground. So yeah, man, it was good to see Eli back out there, man.
Yeah. It was absolutely a good time seeing Elijah out there. The I was really, and I said before the game, and people thought that they were really that Kyle was going to kind of ease him into the game plan. I tried to tell y'all, you're like, Kyle don't care nothing about that. He has trust in Elijah. We've seen it since the moment that kid hit the field that Kyle just wants to get that kid as many touches as he possibly can, and
Mm-hmm.
he looked good. He looked
Yep.
good. He was hitting the holes. I would say, and I was on Ryan Hensley's show this morning. I would say that he did. I agree with Ryan that he looked better than CMC. Yeah, at least running the ball. I mean,
Yeah.
CMC had a couple of catches, but and they don't really use Elijah in the passing game that much. But yeah, he looked really good running the ball, and that's what I kind of expected from the game plan. Was I thought Elijah was going to get a majority of the rushes, and then they would use CMC in like a change up role and more in that passing back, kind of the way that the Patriots used to
James
use
White.
what's his what was his name?
James White, Kevin
Yeah,
Falk.
James White, Kevin Fall,
Yeah.
same, and that way, and that's really what I would like to see. The way that I would like to see them use CMC on a regular basis, that change of pace, because I get it that we gave up 4 draft picks for him. That doesn't mean that we have to run him into the ground. He's our X factor, and like he doesn't need to get all the touches. We got so many weapons on this squad. It's just a question of Kyle. Can Kyle put those guys in a position to succeed, and can he just let his guys go out and do the thing that they do? But yeah, Elijah played really well yesterday. But the would you like to see him and CMC on the field together more? Because that's something that I looked at. Like the game before this one, it was Jeff Wilson and CMC on the same field, and I get it that Juice was hurt, so it was almost like they had to do it that way. But I thought that it was a good look, and I think that the offense it looked a little bit better with them like that. So what do you think about using CMC and Elijah on the field together? Because I didn't see a lot of that, even if it means Juice doesn't get on the field as much.
Yeah, I think use all the tools you can. Maybe like a little misdirection. You can line Eli up in the fullback position, or even put them beside Jimmy Garoppolo in the shotgun, and just utilize the threat of them hitting the edges. And if you want to go into the middle, I would love to see that with a little action of Debo coming out, in the back doing the little they
Mhm.
call it, I guess, the orbitable route where he come out in the backfield, go behind them both, and he
Oh
orbits
yeah, yeah,
around
yeah.
them, things of that nature, and just to try to get the defense to get thrown off a little bit. Also, having CMC catch it out the backfield, even though Elijah Mitchell is in there, and then having Elijah Mitchell running the ball and having CMC go out to the backfield like a swing pass or something like that. Not passing it to him, but just to throw to him looking like he's about to go do it. And just to try to get the defenses kind of throw it off a little bit. I would love to see
Yeah.
them in the backfield more often. And I wouldn't even mind having Kyle Juszczyk in there. I think if the formation is called like a full house formation.
Hmm.
So you have the quarterback in the middle, you have two of the running backs beside
Oh
him and somebody behind him,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know. And to me, you putting the defense in the pickle because they saying, okay, CMC can get the ball run the outside, Elijah can run and get the ball here on the outside, or they want to go on the inside, they can, or you can sit there, them both go outside and hit the edges of the tackles, and then you can hand
Mm.
the ball off to Kyle Juszczyk. I mean, there's a myriad of things that you can do to kind of confuse the defense. And to me, somebody like Kyle Shanahan, I know his creativity, his creative juices are flowing to go out there and try to figure out ways to confuse the defense. So yeah, I would love
Yeah,
to
I
see
mean, I would like to think that that was the case. I would like to think that is the case. I don't know. I think that it's not so much that Kyle isn't creative. I think that it's right now. I think that he's just guessing wrong. He's guessing wrong a lot. Like, and I just look at it as he does things that are obvious, that are kind of obvious, and he uses his guys. What I notice is that he uses his guys in the same exact way every time he uses them. He doesn't try to use them any differently. Ayuk is going to run the same type of routes every single game, and Debo's going to run his little crossers. He's going to get his screen on the side. Like those are the plays that you don't try. He doesn't try to motion them out, just run the play a different kind of way. Like he doesn't try to put like Debo in other types of having him run other kind of routes. Like it's just it is what it is. Like he's going to try it exactly the way we've all seen him try it all season long, which means the defense can just key on. Oh, okay, he's going over here. That means this is coming. We know it's
yeah.
coming.
Look, we
And
know
like
we know Debo finna try to get this screen pass.
yeah,
And if this
and
pass ain't passed, if it's not thrown perfectly, as long as we can read it and react and get over there, hey, we good because we could tackle him. Other than that, you hoping that Debo can break a tackle, and that's how he get his yards. And now it's starting becoming like, come on, man, like this cannot be the only way that you can feel comfortable with knowing that if I throw this ball behind the line of scrimmage, he go at least catch it.
yeah,
And it's like, dude, you don't pay somebody, in my opinion. Or this is one of the reasons why a lot of people had, the issue of saying, hey, man, if you just go passing the ball in the backfield like this over and over again and hoping he got to break plays, bro, that's too hard. You know what I mean? You got to give him some
yeah,
easy catches. And so if you don't feel like you can do that, come on, Kyle, you got to get smarter, or you got to create more of a opportunity, especially when you got a BA, you got George Kittle. And that's why I think I don't mind us running the ball. We're a great running team. But I
mhm,
think, like I said, it's just a trust factor of our offensive weapons being open and getting them guys the ball downfield, or even just attempting. I remember I heard it was Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice was talking. He was on today on I think it was KNBR
mhm,
or 95.7 the game or something like that. But he was talking to Bunte Hill and someone else. And he was like, man, it's okay just to take a chance to throw the ball down the field a little bit. You got
yeah,
to make sure you soften up the defensive coverage some and utilize your speed, or just how today's game is called. You can utilize the referee to give you opportunity. And then if Debo is known to being physical, so him going and attempting to high point the ball could give you a first down in the 25 yards or, anything of that nature. So
yeah.
we got to at least try. When last time you seen Debo with a deep ball this year?
Yeah, no, and he can catch those. Like he's not a big jump ball guy,
Mhm.
but he somehow like he does a great job of kind of bodying up the cornerback and almost like boxing him out.
Yeah, in the post.
Like, yeah, he gets
Like
him in the
Mark
post
Jackson,
down there. Yeah.
pass the field.
He lets because Jimmy's always gonna throw it short, right? Like
Yeah,
he's always like it's never gonna be in front of him. So what he does, like I noticed what he does is he goes as fast as he can down there and he almost overruns the ball and then he boxes the cornerback out and comes back to the ball. And
yeah,
like and if that's what you got to do, then I mean, just throw the ball, just throw it. Like, I mean, I would say to Jimmy's credit, he has done a much better job this season of just at least throwing it.
yeah,
He's not probably not going to complete it, but but just the threat of him throwing it is all we need to your point. And I just, yeah, running the ball is great, but it has to be met with the play action. It has to be married with that play action for it to really be effective. And
yeah,
that's when you get that play action down, that's when you're really going to get to see CMC and Elijah Mitchell cook. Like that's that's really what this team is missing is just a bona fide play action. You can't do it out of the shotgun, like to your point. Like it's
yeah.
got to be. I'd like to see him under the center. And honestly, they tried. I remember they tried a naked bootleg, and Jimmy almost got his head taken off.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But see, that was the difference. Like I said, a naked bootleg. I think that was Khalil Mack came off. It was on the left hand. Yeah, he was lined up on
Yeah,
the left. Nobody touched him. Okay, but then again, like I said, when you running that ball, man, and again, Elijah was run like 4.5 yards per carry, so it wasn't like the bootleg couldn't be effective. And so look, you fake handoff,
yeah.
turn around, look and see. You gotta
It's
get
got to
killed to
be.
the ball, man. Like that's my
There's got to
another
be
issue.
somebody open. Too many
We gotta get
weapons.
we gotta
Too
get
many
killed to the
weapons.
ball more often. I think we don't utilize his skill set enough, and I think this is another reason why our offense look kind of stagnant. Is that if the team kind of can, if I can sit here and talk to you, and we can understand what we going to do, what we ain't going to do, no matter how much the dressings you try to put on it, no matter how many, what type of lipstick, look, eyeshadow, lip liner, whatever you doing, you trying to put like some shadow, whatever it is you trying to put on
Yeah,
this pig, we know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Hey, the defense knows too, Kyle.
yeah,
So until you sit there and just say, you know what, let me just quit trying to dress this pig up, and because I've been kind of found out, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I might need to change something up, man. Like, don't let your pride be our downfall because you have too much talent. I could tell you there's probably 28 other teams out there wishing they had this roster on the offensive end.
Oh
And
my
like you
God.
said earlier, there's other teams out here who don't have nowhere near the type of offensive firepower we have, and they throwing up 25, 30 points a game. And not just, and I'm again, not only against the Rams, but against other
Yeah,
teams. You know what I mean? Because we always look pretty against the god doggone Rams, and everybody else we look real suspect.
yeah. And it's this is the thing. It's not just Kittle. Like, I mean, Ayuk, at least he got a chance. He got what, 6 targets?
Yeah,
Um,
5 for 6, I
oh, he
think.
got 6 catches. Like, I think he had a couple of more targets. So, but yeah, Ayuk to me looked really good. I know he got a lot of flack for dropping the one ball in the end zone, and then he's
But he
people
routed him
some
up so bad though, man.
the
He
what?
he routed my boy. Did you
Yeah,
see the route? Like he dropped the ball, but the route was so nasty. I said, "Good lord!" He left my
yeah.
man in the dust. He was like, just
Nobody can cover Ayuk one on one. Like that's if you get put on an island against Ayuk, that's a wrap for you. I haven't seen anybody, even Jalen Ramsey. He routed Jalen Ramsey up a few times,
yeah,
and like it. I mean, if we had a quarterback like that just knew that Ayuk is gonna be open here. He
yeah,
got this guy one on one. Like that's a wrap.
yeah,
And he had a guy that would just keep feeding him and feeding him. Ayuk would have, I mean, they would end up doubling. They would end up having to double, but
it's
like
fine though. It's
either way,
fine. That's what
this
you
guy
need.
would be a prolific wide, and that it leads up to my next question: is Ayuk wide receiver one on this team? Is because and the reason why I asked the question is because I feel like he's the one guy on this team that can just get open
Yeah,
and catch the ball.
Besides yesterday,
And besides who?
I said, yeah. Besides the drop from yesterday, I think he was
Yeah,
rated like 129 or something like that last week. Um, our other wide receivers are very high in drops. I think Debo last year. I know people love. This is not a Debo bashing, but he did have like
yeah,
16 drops yesterday last year. I mean, it is what it is. Like he was prone
yep,
to drop every. It was like last year. Every first pass to Debo, he dropped it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But man, look, that dude Brandon Ayuk be out there willing and dealing. It's shown off like he should because he's like you said earlier, he's been relegated to only a certain route tree, and everything else he's kind of pretty much doing a clear out route because he's not expecting to get those other routes where he's maybe running a deep skinny or a deep flag route or a deep post. He knows the ball ain't coming his way, but he just runs it to clear out. And then also his blocking is one of his most underrated feet. His one of his like this dude be out there blocking. You know what I mean? And so, as a blocker, I love his mentality. He goes out there, he blocks real hard. Even though I know he wishes he could do more in the passing game because I don't think we had a 100-yard receiver this year yet. I might be wrong, but I think we don't even have not 100-yard receiver this year. And so, to me, there's too much talent for us not to have a couple of those every other week. We should have a 100 bun. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mm-hmm.
that's my thing with BA. I think BA got the hands. He has the swagger. I love his mentality when he go out there. He started getting the ball fed to him. You start seeing him starting to feel himself. You know what I mean? He's like that silent assassin out there, and I love it. I
Yeah.
appreciate Jimmy starting to feed him the ball a little bit, and Kyle just got to give him a couple little, at least 2 deep targets a game. I don't care if he
Mm-hmm.
catches the ball or not, but just give him the opportunity to go out there and try to make a play on the ball. And yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Ayuk is that guy in my opinion, and I love Debo. Debo is your all around football player, and he can be a good receiver. Like we've seen it before. I know it's there. So
Yeah,
we've seen it. Kittle, like I mean, and then you got Kittle who can do a whole bunch of things. Also, you still got I I know everybody's not impressed with him. I like McLeod. I think McLeod is a good piece. I
yeah,
think that they need him to use him more as a slot guy than a deep threat. Like, but yeah, and then you've got CMC who adds a whole nother dimension to
yeah.
that with those underneath catches. But Ayuk is to me is their wide receiver one. I think that is your guy going forward, and if it doesn't get better and like I don't completely blame Debo for his lack of production this season, but that goes into my next question because
Um,
my next question was is Debo's lack of production because he's limited as a receiver or is Shanny just not using him correctly? And I'm kind of going into that question for me. If for me, I don't think he's limited as a receiver. I think that Shanny is just, like I said earlier, not getting him the ball in positions for him to succeed. He's not changing up the ways that he gets him the ball. He's just doing the same things every single week and expecting for Debo just to make something out of nothing every time.
yeah,
And that's not conducive. It's yeah, that's not conducive to winning. Like
yeah.
and to Debo's credit, he was like he had what 6.8 yards a carry yesterday, and I mean I just wish that he could get more involved in the passing game. I know that we don't pass the ball a lot. We ran the ball 41 times yesterday, so it's once again it comes down to the fact that we don't have a quarterback that we can trust that will throw the ball 30 plus times a game and not throw 2 interceptions every time. But
Hey, we go. See, I think this is my thing. Jimmy is who he is, but
yes,
in order for our offense, to me, in order for our offense to take that next step, we have to do several weeks of experimenting on the job. You got to
yeah,
experiment on the job. We had 40 carries. I don't think CMC's. I mean, if we would have had like 32 carries last game,
hmm
and you give me 4 more of those carries, I trade you 4 carries for 4 more George Kittle targets. I trade
okay,
you 3 more of those carries for 3 more Debo Samuel targets. I
okay,
trade you,
I see you.
because I think if we talking about player for player, the potential of these individuals, you got all pros who aren't getting these type of touches. So I'm giving a running back, no offense, but Elijah, you did a good job, but I'm giving you 18 carries. You did good. You was productive. I'm giving CMC had like 17 carries. He didn't have a high, average, but those certain plays that I was sitting there watching on the TV screen, like, bro, why not just pass this play? You had a first down, you come out on first down, and then you run the ball. How about come out on first down, fake run, and give Kittle a quick pass or option route, or give even Debo a quick pass or option route, or give him a quick little a quick end route or a drag route or something. Just let them touch the ball, because I think the fans feed off that. I think the team feed off that. Like, because whenever I don't know about you, but whenever I see George Kittle get the ball, like even then, like when he did last game, you like, okay, he gonna try to score a touchdown because he know he might not get the ball for 4 to 5 series. So he's gonna try to do his best to go out there and run to the goal line. Same with Debo. He's like, man, I don't know. We don't play a consistent passing game. So whenever I get these opportunities, I'm trying to plow through people, and that's where we get some of those fumbles from, because I think a lot of our guys saying that we get this opportunity to run the ball, I might not see it again. So let me try to score. Because I might not touch it, and I'm a hooper. So it's like, if you ain't shot the ball as a basketball player, say for instance, you played 6 minutes and gone by, and you like, bro, I ain't had one attempt. Time to touch my hand, I'm letting that joker fly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Half court.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like, bro, y'all ain't let me shoot the ball. So I think that's how the guys be feeling out there, man.
Yeah. I mean, I feel you. Like, but it comes back to Kyle's mantra, and like the way that he doesn't run his offense like a lot of other coaches do, in the fact that he doesn't run the ball. He doesn't run plays designed to get guys the ball. He runs plays to attack the defense's rules or whatever the case is. And which is okay for certain plays, but it doesn't have to be your whole entire offense. Like, sometimes you just need to run plays to get the ball into this guy's hand, designed to get the ball into this guy's hands. And to his credit, I mean, he does, but those plays that he does to get the ball into those certain guys' hands, they're super vanilla, and they're super and they're just, everybody knows that they're coming when he does do it. So I think he's all up in his head right now, and it's going to be really difficult for him to get out of that headspace. Like,
and another thing, and this for anybody who may say Kyle is cool, but all thing we're saying, or I won't even speak for you, I'm just gonna say all thing I'm saying is, with the tools you do have, you building a house out of bamboo sticks, when you could build a house out of granite. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro,
I'm saying,
can you live and sustain life in a bamboo hut? You should. Yes, you can.
Yeah. And this is what I would say. This is what I would say for people that I mean, the Kyle apologists. Like, and I like Kyle. I just want him to do better. Like, that's my thing, is I'm hoping that one of these days he's going to say, let me see what Pete's talking about today. Maybe he's got some ideas that I don't. Like, and I just want him to see what, like, that it's not just his way. I think that that's the problem, is that he just refuses to listen to anyone, and he thinks this ego is just out of control. But yeah, it just, I completely agree with that. I think that if you had these same weapons on, let's say, and including Jimmy at quarterback, but it was on the Chiefs and Andy Reid was running the plays, do you think that there would be the same result? Because I don't.
Per game.
That's what I think too.
35 minimum. So hold on, this week's 11 coming up is, I think week 11 coming up, right? 5-9. Either week 11, week 10, we would have had at least 7 games of 35 points already.
Yeah, I think so too.
Even with,
because
and we can add in I call this the Warriors effect. You can add in 3, 4, 5 turnovers, 3, 2 turnovers,
mhm,
because the offense can be so prolific. Because if you look at our stats, our time of possession, we held the ball for 37 minutes. 37 minutes. So people say, well, we didn't have enough opportunities for a series, but it's like, no, we took too freaking long to get down there and then don't score. So
yeah,
it's not like we don't have opportunities. It's just that once we get them, we take 7 years to go down there and score a field
mhm,
goal. And so it make it look like they're like, well, this is why these guys can't get more involved. No, we gotta get to moving though. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like I know that there's ways to do it. Like, and I think, and I see these other coaches that are. I mean, even the coach for the Bears. What I mean, who do the Bears have?
Justin Fields.
They got Justin Fields and who? Like,
Cole Kmet out here killing. Look, that's how Cole Kmet get more
I,
more attempts, like more targets than George Kittle does. I'm like, bro,
I'm just saying. Like, it's who is their coach? Is he a genius?
yeah,
And he has figured out. He's figured because they were struggling in the beginning of the season, but at some
uh-huh.
point they figured out with limited weapons and a bad offensive line how to get the most out of Justin Fields and what to do for him. That's all we asking, Kyle. That's all we asking.
Explosive.
I just want you to figure out how to get the best out of your players, and that's it. And it's really that simple. But I have another question about the last wide receiver question.
Uh-huh.
Does Jawan Jennings deserve a larger role? Because that man catches the ball, and I feel like people don't want him. They don't want to try and tackle him.
So he's the biggest wide receiver we have on our squad. Probably
Yeah,
the slowest wide receiver we have on our squad.
yeah,
Our wide receiver core, if we look at it across the league, is probably mid. Like we don't run. We're not some blazers. We don't
yeah.
got like speed demons out there. So I think the issue with Juwan is that once he's in the game, I think people know that they can shell their defense off and they safeties can drop down because they're not afraid of the top getting peeled off. And
Yeah.
so it's kind of predictable, but which is majority of our offense is kind of predictable as well. But I don't mind Jennings coming in there because he's a sure-handed wide receiver. I mean, he had a couple drops early on this year, but
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't the normal for him. Last year, whenever he had opportunity to catch the ball, I think it was like he had 23 of his 27 catches was for first downs last year, I believe. And
Mm-hmm.
so I always appreciate that his hands are sure and he moved the sticks. Even this week, I think we had like 12 conversions on first down or something on third down, which was awesome as well. So I won't mind him getting a little bit of play, but again, I still want George Kittle
Yeah.
to get the ball. So
Yeah. I
it's
just
like,
want.
I don't want to bring out another player. My country is about to come out. But I'm gonna tell you, I
Yeah.
don't want out another player coming here taking the ball away from George Kittle or Debo Samuels. You know what I'm saying? Look,
George said, can I just get one? Like you all keep bringing in all these people, and I still over here, people calling me the best tight end in the league, and I can't just get a couple of touches. Like that's all I want. Like, and maybe if you wouldn't have to go out and spend four draft picks if you just get me the ball.
I mean, hey, he like, look at me. You know what I'm saying? Because he sees his brother over there kills Kelsey,
Yeah,
Andrews, Hawkinson. Hawkinson got traded. I think what to the what
to
he
Minnesota.
went to the Minnesota, and I bet you right now he got traded to Minnesota, and I bet you over the last 3 weeks he even got more pass targets than George Kittle. And it's not
Yeah.
like they don't got, man. Look, I know this is not a podcast, but I just want to, we got the greatest wide receiver to ever touch this God green earth. But good Lord Jesus, did you not see that boy Justin Rice? I mean Justin
Oh, just
Jefferson.
yeah.
Man, Lord have
Yes,
mercy.
that
Oh,
catch was. I
shit.
mean, the guy is just this is the thing. The year he was getting drafted, I remember people saying, like I remember watching him in the national championship game,
Mm-hmm.
and he balled out. He balled out, and but everybody was talking about the other dude on the team. Who was it?
Marshall.
Terrace Marshall.
Yeah.
They were all talking about Terrace Marshall was the main guy, and they said, oh well, Justin Jefferson's only going to be a. So I was like, he looked kind of big, like he looked kind
He's
of big.
lanky.
He looked kind of fast, and he makes catches. Like I like him. Like and they were talking about during our draft, like and I said, I saw where Jefferson was slated to go, and I said, I don't know. I don't think he's gonna fall. He's gonna fall far enough because I know the league has got to see what I see in this kid. And just guys just kept going by. CD Lamb went by, and yeah, Jeff Judy and like all these guys. I always thought that he was better than all of them.
Well, after yesterday,
Yeah,
and that catch, I said, first thing first, this is what you do sometimes. It was 4th down. Kirk Cousins said, you know what? I'm not gonna say the expletive, but he said 2 tears in the bucket, pluck it. And he just sat there and said, hey, I'm gonna give my best player an opportunity to go make a play.
yeah.
And that boy went up there, and I said, because the game was good. I don't care. Like, that game was awesome. I know, like I said, man, when he caught that ball and he came all the way down, didn't even touch it again. Like, it just, I don't know. He had some type of glue on his forearm or
No,
something.
it's those gloves, man. Those gloves. Have you ever seen those gloves? Like,
I played wide receiver in high school. We had gloves, but I'm assuming my gloves was like $16.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he had those
gloves.
NFL sticky gloves.
He got his glove probably like $89.99. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah,
he
man.
got the Tesla gloves.
Yeah, I just want to give him a shout out, man, because if you're a fan of football, and I know if you're a fan of the 49ers, you gotta be a fan of Jerry Rice. And so we've seen great catches throughout our whole lives. And so I just want to give him some props because that was really a beautiful play, man. So yeah.
It was sick. Like and it was good. But I'll tell you that speaking about Minnesota, I think Thielen's starting to get upset. Like he ain't getting nothing. He is getting Nathan. It is he's not getting any. He is having, I don't know, I have to look up his stats, but I think he's having a terrible year. And it's not because of injury. I just think that they're not throwing him the ball. Like and it's that's weird in itself.
Hey,
but
if you scoring the way they're scoring,
yeah,
and if your boy's producing the way he's producing, listen here. Sometimes you don't gotta overly complicate the game. If it's like, look, if I'm just better and you get me the ball, I'm just gonna be doing what I'm doing. Then you 71, so Thielen can't say nothing because he's like, well, we are winning.
Yeah, for sure. But so let's move on to Jimmy. Like,
yes, sir.
What did you think of Jimmy's performance? Why did we not see any deep shots in that game? And I'm gonna just ask you. I know you loved the hurry. Like I don't even have to ask you this question. I know you loved the hurry up at the goal line.
It didn't work though.
Yeah,
it worked. We got quick little first. I was sitting there looking. It was like we did on the first possession. I said, and we actually got a first down. Like,
yeah. I immediately thought of you when they did it. I was like, are they hurrying up to the line? Like,
remember down the goal line, they even caught a penalty. Remember when the big boy couldn't get on the? I was sitting there like,
hello.
we could have been had a couple of these plays. Every time they did it, we had a decent doggone like production out of the play. I'm like, bro, Kyle, there's nothing wrong with that, man. Yeah. But
he's like, no, that's too much success. Like, I can't get these guys used to
that. But yeah, I think that pace of play was well. I'm glad he did it early in the game just to kind of get us going. I wish we would have scored on that projection with with what's that guy name? BA when he dropped the pass. But I thought Jimmy played well. This is my opinion. Brandon Ayuk should have caught. He shouldn't have fumbled that one pass, but when you throwing the ball across the middle and you making these wide receivers jump and to catch it, you set them up to get their butt popped. You know what I'm saying? Get
Mhm.
hit pretty hard. Then you got to watch out for that. You got to be careful. Some of the passes I seen him throw at the
Always
LOS
high.
were either high as heck or low as heck. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
why are you throwing the ball in the dirt, man? It's like, why are you doing this? And then I'm looking at Debo like this probably the only chance you get an opportunity to catch the ball anyway. So, bro, get it up. You need to go see Alice or somebody. Like, come on, man. You need some just for him. Like, bro, we got to get this thing right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was a little bit upsetting. And also, I thought that in the pocket, he had a lot more time. Jimmy was a little happy feet. And again, I thought he had more time to kind of step up. But you know how Jimmy get to bouncing a little bit and
Yeah.
he's just
He
doing
just
this.
yeah, he doesn't see he just bounces in place and he doesn't see there's a hole. All he got to do is step through the hole. Like just step through the hole, man. Like I know you have to see the hole. It's big
Yeah.
old gaping hole in front of him a lot of the time. And he can't he gets so nervous like when bodies are around him that yeah, it's just weird. But go ahead.
And then the thing about this is he's an arm thrower, right? So
Yeah.
if he's shifted in the pocket and he's on his tippy toes, he's going to throw from shoulder on. There's going to be no legs involved. There's going to be no plant foot involved. So he's just going to he go fling
Yeah.
it. And a lot of the passes I seen yesterday where he played well, but I'm just saying like I think that's one of the critiques Kyle do have of Jimmy Garoppolo, probably why he's still kind of hesitant to let the offense go. But he
Mm-hmm.
has to trust the offensive line and what they're doing and him being able to stop in the pocket because some of those passes I thought Jimmy could have rolled out a little bit. Not saying you got to run, but
Yeah.
roll out and have some of these guys come back to you and throw the ball. But
What happened when he did?
I
He
think he
did it
threw
on
one in the
one.
corner. He threw it to was that Ray,
McLeod.
right? Ray
McLeod. Yeah,
McLeod
that was
caught him.
pretty.
Yeah. And I'm like, look, Jimmy, that's fine, bro. You can do that. Don't be scared.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that Jimmy had a pretty decent game for Jimmy. You know, like I mean, any game that he doesn't throw a pick and for the most part he has a good percentage. Let's put it this way. I don't put the offense's struggles in the red zone on Jimmy because Kyle doesn't allow Jimmy to throw when they're down there. Like it's really weird. And you saw him yelling into the microphone after the first drive, and they got the field goal because he handed the ball off. I think it was a choice play, and like he handed the ball off to the running back instead of taking the guy that was in the flat,
Mm-hmm.
and Kyle just lost it. Like was yelling. I had to ask people on Twitter why was Kyle so mad, and they were saying it was a choice play, but
Okay.
yeah, that's what you're gonna get from Jimmy. Jimmy doesn't read defense as well. He doesn't do pre-snap reads well. Everything has to kind of form in front of him, but then maybe you need to switch up a little bit of what you do to make it easier for him and come out of your shell, Kyle. Like to get, like I said, just run the play for the specific player to make it easier for what Jimmy is seeing. Because obviously, the way that you're doing it currently, Jimmy's not seeing it.
Mm-mm.
Like he's definitely not seeing it pre-snap, and and then he might see it post-snap. Like,
Yeah.
but he's gonna get his steps in before he gets to that. So like it is what it is. Jimmy is Jimmy, and
Yeah.
but I thought that he didn't play. I didn't think he played a bad game.
No, he
Like
didn't. Hey, I'm a realist, man. I love my 49ers. When they good, I don't mind hanging with them. But when they bad, I don't mind being honest. That doesn't mean I'm a hater. And I tell people that all the time. It's like, man, critique is. It's not like I'm wishing them to have a horrible experience out there on the field, man. I want them to be great. But there's some of this stuff that we've been seeing. This is years. This is a collection of data over years that we've seen some of these same trends. It's like, all right, man, can we make it to the playoffs? Yes.
yeah,
Talent alone, we should make it to the playoffs. But when we start going against those upper echelons, top 5, top 7 teams, believe me, these little nuances, some of the undisciplined things that we do, that's when it catch up to us. Because if we get behind we can't automatically think that all of a sudden we're going to get this bravado or this swagger about ourselves playing from behind, because we never actually fully opened our playbook to play like that. And
Yeah.
so one team is going to be confident if they're down 17 points or 14 points, because they're like, hey man, we kind of do this often. And another team is going to be very tight. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
again, still instilling belief in your team in these certain situations, so that when you see it later on in December, they will be accustomed to it. You know, so.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had to laugh because like my mom says, have they asked if they have checked his vision? Yeah, mom got jokes. Like,
Can he see?
but let's move on. I know everybody's. I know Melissa was. Hopefully she's still here, but like she was waiting for us to talk about the defense and that god awful call. Like it was. I'm sorry. That was a joke. That was a joke,
Oh,
and
my bad.
everybody knows what I'm talking about. Like,
Oh, I'm sorry, man. My bad.
yeah, yeah, no worries. Like, but everybody I think knows what we're talking about. Like that Dre Greenlaw play, bang bang play. Uh, I mean Herbert was a runner, and they almost hit him like almost the exact same time. It was like a ping ping,
Hmm.
and I mean I don't know how he was supposed to adjust to be having the guy knocked almost into him. Like, but at the very, I thought, okay, you give him a penalty for the helmet to helmet. Okay, I get it. But the ejection, come on,
Bro,
come on.
horrible. The NFL or the referee associate, whoever it is, they need to come out with a statement saying that if you can show me 5 games where a defender was kicked out for the same hit this year, I'm
Yeah.
cool with it. But if you can't show me 5 games that
Hmm.
a linebacker or a safety been kicked out for the same content, like literally, I understand the flag, but literally ejected, then y'all need to come out and own up to a horrible, horrible play.
I
You
was
know what I'm
expecting
saying?
them to apologize today for that. Like,
Yeah.
because the NFL will come out and apologize if it was blatantly wrong. And I was expecting an apology, but I think Troy Vincent kind of doubled down on it. Like, it's I don't understand. Like, I don't understand that it's I'm so tired of the NFL trying to act like they care about these players so that they put these dumb rules in place, and that puts them in more harm's way because when you're playing a sport like football, you
Hmm.
cannot be constantly thinking all the time while you're playing, like because that's how more guys get even more hurt, like when they're trying to think while they're doing things and it's not instinctual. So I don't know, I just feel like the NFL really kind of missed the ball on this one.
They
And
fumble.
yeah, and I mean they want to protect the players, but they don't want to get rid of turf. They want to protect the players, but they add an extra game. They want to protect the players, but like I mean, they still haven't figured. Like from what I understand, there's more concussions now than there were before. Like it's just a crazy. I don't understand what the whole purpose of the whole thing is.
And I noticed that too. Like watching football my whole life, it's like, bro, I've seen more people get hurt in the last 10, 15 years
Mm-hmm.
than I did when football was when you could knock a person's clavicle off. Like, bro,
Yeah.
we don't even like, come on, man. Like, we over here playing the most passive football we ever seen, and I see more guys getting injured than anything. So it's like, come on, what's really going on?
Yeah.
Alongside with the offseason prior, to training camp when he was going to OTAs, like you used to have 2 a days. You used to we used to hear about these stories,
Yeah.
because you were
Hell
developing
week.
hell week,
It
you
used
were
to be.
developing
Yeah.
a callus, for the body. And I think we got such supreme athletes now that they're not it's like having a Ferrari and yeah, it's a show car, but now I'm taking this show car and I'm putting 150,000 miles on. You're like, whoa, wait a minute, it's a Ferrari, bro. Like, why are we driving it like it's an Uber? Nah, it ain't meant for that. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is where we seeing with these athletes where they're being so coddled, you know what I mean, that their body can't sustain like this high pressure situations because they haven't really been going through it long enough to be able to be that detailed in sustaining that type of level of play in a in the entirety, because it's always ACL, MCL, ACL, MCL. That's all I see all day, every day, man.
Yeah, all the lower extremity injuries, and even and I see you, Chris, but like it absolutely is. Like I've looked at, like, if at anything, it's just as many head injuries, and like they haven't improved. It has not improved.
Mm-hmm.
And my biggest issue with the whole subject is that these guys, like, the reason why, in my opinion, you didn't see it as much back in the day was because the coaches cared about their players, cared more about the safety of their players,
Mm-hmm.
and they wouldn't call those plays, and your quarterback it wouldn't behoove them to throw the ball in those spots to get their player killed. But now, because the rules are, in my opinion, because the rules are in place to penalize those guys for doing it, now we just get willy-nilly with throwing the ball across the middle all the time, and then somebody gets penalized for it. Okay, but this guy just got his head knocked off. Like, I
Great,
mean,
Sleepy
that's
Hollow.
it. Like, I mean, you cannot. The issue is, the coaches have to take their player safety into account also, and it's not you can't just assume because the rule is in place that they're not going to knock your head off, because there's always going to be that chance that it's going to happen. And it goes to the quarterbacks also. Like, you can't just assume that linebacker or that safety is going to get down and hit him low. Like, and even if they do hit him low, there's a chance that they could seriously injure them that way too. Uh, I don't remember, like, when I've been watching football since the 80s. So, and it's been 35 I've been 35 plus years of a Niner fan, and the injuries were not as prevalent as what they are today. Like, and it could be just a lot of preventative stuff, like, they try to pull guys out earlier before it becomes a serious issue. But regardless, these guys are getting dinged up, dinged up, dinged up, and then they don't, all of a sudden now they don't have a career,
Yeah.
because nobody wants to take a chance on them because they're constantly dinged up, dinged up, dinged up. Like, so there's a whole lot going on, and I'm gonna have to go get a whole bunch of charts now, like, to prove my point. But it's okay.
They don't last
The
that long, man.
But grading the defense, grading the defense. Was it the defense settling in, or the lack of playmakers for the Chargers, do you think?
Uh, can we say both? This year has been a tricky year when it comes to evaluating our defense. We haven't really played teams that were known for being very explosive offensively. And so the teams that we should dominate, I think we did dominate if their offense was like handicapped. The teams that weren't necessarily handicapped, and the only
Mhm.
team I think that we actually played that was extremely explosive was who? Kansas City Chiefs. And at that time, we were missing a lot, a lot of our players. But one thing I will say is that when we do play against an inferior opponent, they may get a couple off on us, but after a while, D'Amico Ryans kind of settles in. The nerves kind of go away. And he really, to me, it's like he's a coach that put his players in position to succeed on all three levels: D line, linebacker, and then also the secondary. We've seen
Mhm.
injuries on the defensive line. We've seen these other guys come in. Big up to Charles Omenihu. He was popping on the screen. Kevin Willis, Hyder. Like, these guys are showing who they are, so you got to appreciate them. Even with the linebacker, once Greenlaw got ejected, Al Shazier came in there. He made his presence felt. Not Kurt, I'll call Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
Nah, but my guy Warner was out there flying around like a chicken with his head cut off, making plays. And then on the back end, they were flying around and like missiles, and they were swarming. I think that's their acronym, to swarm. And they was out there doing those things. And so I like that D'Amico Ryans will adjust, and he will allow them guys to play with their heads on fire. And I would love for us to play against teams that have a little more octane on their offense, because I do believe Mike Williams, if he was there, he would have made us,
Mm,
man.
yeah.
That's a contested catch king. Like, that's
Yeah.
what he does. And Keenan Allen is is he's surgical
Yeah.
running these 10 route, like these 10-yard routes, or like the medium route tree. He's a killer at that. So we got lucky that we didn't have to face those guys. But I was happy though, man. Like, our defense has been the identity of the San Francisco 49ers. In my opinion, I would continuously say this. You would think D'Amico Ryans is the head coach of San Francisco 49ers, because our team identity and what the NFL see when it comes to our team as the thing that put us above most teams is our defense. We highly ranked. We allow a limited amount of points. We have wonderful. We have turnovers. We have skill positions. I mean, skill guys on every level. So to me, I think our defense is it's a killer, man. It's so nice, man. So
Yeah. It's I think that that it was absolutely, I mean, I think that we have a good defense. And I don't think that they're, obviously they can't be as good as they were because they're missing Emmanuel Mosley, and they're missing like a majority of the starting defensive line. Like, so they can't be as good, but I think that they're still good. I still
yeah,
think that they're still good. I think that it absolutely helped them that Keenan Allen and Mike Williams weren't there, and it might have been a different story
three
if
drops.
that
I
was the
mean,
case.
them,
Like, but
remember that?
but to those,
Remember them
even,
drops?
yeah, no, I remember the drops, but you also remember Herbert just missing guys too.
That doesn't happen. Justin never misses people.
Yeah, he missed somebody yesterday.
Nope,
he missed
can't.
he missed a couple of people yesterday. Like, but what? So finally, before we get out of here, has this team finally established an identity to
Nope.
you, in your opinion, or are we still waiting to see more?
Man, we still out here drawing in the sand with sticks, man. We so I have to see the next 3 weeks. So next week we play Arizona, right? A
Mhm.
division foe. I need to see we're going to Mexico City. I need to see what does our team look like coming off a bye, and we string 4 games against teams that we don't play all the time. So we play against the Chargers, we did okay. I think we got Arizona, then Miami, and then maybe another division game. I
Mhm.
want to see what we're looking like after the end of these next 3 weeks. I want to see progression in the offense. I want to see more of an offensive identity. Um, can Brandon Ayuk continue to be a productive wide receiver? So I think he's probably been averaging 80, 78 yards per game over the last 4 games. Will that stay true? I think our defense will stay consistent if we stay from all the injuries. I'm
Mhm.
more so just because I just want to see where Kyle heads at. Like, I think Kyle is a thinker. I don't know what he see the offense being in the next 3 weeks, but I'm assuming he has something in mind, and I want to know what that looks like. So until I see the San Francisco 49ers average 28 points per game over a 4-week period, I'm going to sit here and still be questioning what it is that we plan to do on offense.
Yeah, yeah, I'm right there with you. Like, until I see points, like until I see more than 22, uh, I mean it's ridiculous. Like, we're 18th, we're like 18th in scoring. We got all these weapons on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just silly. Like, yeah, it's just silly. Like that we can't score, more than 22. That we couldn't score more than 11 in in Denver. Like, figure it out. Figure it out, Kyle. Like, because it's not going to be a good look. It's fine, but like, you've got your built-in excuse this season with Jimmy. The next season, there's really not going to be an excuse there. Like, I don't think I think it you're gonna have to he's gonna have to figure it out, and I think that he's going to have to make it. It's going to have to be substantial. It's going to have to be a substantial jump. I want to see a jump this year. I think that this team has too many weapons for there not to be,
Yeah,
and that's the way I feel about it. But hey, Twin, I know, like, we got to get like I know I got to get out of here. I know, like, I've taken up enough of your time. and taking up enough of these people's time. Chris over there writing novels about concussion data, and like I appreciate everybody in the chat, even if I'm wrong. Like I will definitely admit that I'm wrong, but in my and I'm not even going to go into it because we'll go into it for another 10 minutes. But yeah, I appreciate everybody for coming and getting active in the chat. Appreciate Mom for coming through. Love you, Mom.
What up, Mama Dukes?
and then yeah, appreciate you, Twin. Why don't you tell them one more time where they can find you on the socials?
Yes. Right there on the handle, Twin Empire ×2 is my Twitter, and just put in Twin Empire on YouTube just together, man. You can find my YouTube. Make sure you click and sub to the channel. And yeah, man, I appreciate everybody coming in, tuning in. Make sure y'all like and sub to the channel, man. Diner Fanatic Podcast. Y'all share it, man. Make sure you comment below. We appreciate you taking time out of your day to come kick it with us on this wonderful Victory Monday, So yeah.
Yep. And one more time, everywhere where you can find me, like I got Niner Fanatic Podcast, either Mondays or Tuesdays, usually after the game. I'm on every Monday with Ryan Hensley on 49 Warriors show, 8 o'clock in the morning, bright and early. So get your behinds up and turn on YouTube for that. Then plus we've got Last Man Standing podcast on Wednesdays. We're going live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time now. And then you can find all of my stuff all over on the audio versions anywhere where you can get your podcast. So be on the lookout for Nine Fanatic Podcast that way. And every now and then I do another show with my buddy Nate, like the Odd Couple podcast. So every now and then he drops a gem. So I don't care where you get it, just go and get it.
Oh, and, yeah. Also wanted to mention on Wednesdays as well. Me and my brother do.
Oh, yeah. I love that show too.
We do the Bearded Bros podcast on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. Man, we try to do it. The Bearded Brother podcast is me and my brother. We do a pick'em show where we sit there, we go over our results of the last week, and then we pick them and we pick the games for this upcoming week, man. And we sit back there, have a good funky time, like we was back at the house, man. Unfortunately, my brother's a Cowboy fan, and you know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all make sure y'all check that out, man, as well.
Yeah, but it's a great show. You guys got to check him out. I like it, and your brother's show, even though it's a Cowboy show. I love the flow at the end of all of his shows and during his shows. He just kind of breaks out in rhymes like randomly. I love it. It's great. But yeah, we're gonna get out of here, y'all. But like I said, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching so much. I appreciate you. Make sure that you hit the like button. Make sure that you hit that bell for the notifications to let you know when I'm going on air. But as always, we're going to finish it off with a Go Niners.
Yes. Let's go Niners. Salute.